Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back into the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We're getting into a Division D East matchup. On the left-hand side, we have Rise and Grind. In the blue, Life DG is going to be on the Malfurion. Brother Nature is going to be on the, what was that? Junkrat? Yes, okay, I couldn't tell by the skin. Azuriel Abyss will be on the Mei. Azurus will be on the Chromie, and up in top lane, Last Dispatch on the Sonya. On the right-hand side, we have the members of the Devil's Rejects. We've got Soldier of God. Huh, that's a weird name for a Devil's Reject. On the Li Ming, we've got Satan Saves. On this Joanna, we've got Lunatic. I think that's what that is. On the Lucio, Azmodan, played by Symbolic. And in bottom lane, Hebrew Hammer on the Urel. Let's check up them level 1s. Escape Braxis? Yeah, that was the PvE one. I liked Pull Party where everyone stitches. Pull Party was really fun. The Chromie one was really fun as well. I really liked that Chromie one. That was a good time. I know I'm late. I was in the kitchen with headphones on. TF2 Man vs Machine was amazing. Yes. I hope Overwatch 2 learns from it well. I agree. Yeah, Escape from Braxis. It was the one where, yeah, you had the... That one was really fun for Heroes of the Storm. I played a buttload of that. And that was the same thing, like... That was a good time. Like, I would get together with a few friends and we would sit there and do runs of that. There was actually a point where people were trying to speedrun that. They were finding the most optimal way to, like, run that map as quickly as possible. And the devs were loving it, too. The devs were, like, loving that people were finding optimized ways to actually, like, do that and find the quickest route through that map. It was just so cool. It was such a cool time when we had developers for Heroes of the Storm. We still have developers, just not many. Anyways, we're here on Garden of Terror in our second best of 3 of the day. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. A little bit of poke damage going on with this Lucio, who's just gonna take a little nap. Just a quick little nap. And this will be Sonya to grab a camp on the left-hand side. A few members of the Devil's Rejects to grab these camps on the top right of our map. And this is just Urel finding free soak through bottom lane. Actually, is there some minion soak that's being missed through bottom? No, not much. Not much, if any, actually. I thought there was actually a few waves that were missed from the rotations, but I didn't catch and see that the Junkrat's doing double soak for the friendly team. A lot of pressure in through top lane coming out from the side of Rise and Grind. First seed, though, will be spawning here at the 2-minute 30 mark, announced at 2 minutes. One of those... Garden of Terror is one of those few maps that has different objective timers. Pretty much your standards are the 2-minute 30 announcement and the 3-minute up and available for contest sort of deal. Battlefield of Eternity, Infernal Shrines, Volskaya Foundry, Alterac Pass, but then you have some different ones, like Dragonshire has the announcement earlier. We have Garden of Terror, obviously. I believe Blackheart's Bay, it's a non-competitive map, but Blackheart's Bay actually has an early announcement as well. So there's a few maps that do have the change up in the objective phase, but regardless, this one will be up and available. Life is going to be on this Malfurion trying to... I don't know if Malfurion was trying to capture while Brother Nature was looking for the pull, but it was all just a little stacked on top of each other around this, so they couldn't get that pull from the sappers and the collect from the other one. But regardless, Life and Brother are going to go for the channel. That'll be Hebrew Hammer actually jumping over the concussion mine. Chattering Teeth was grabbed by the Junkrat. That's why you're seeing that little dash line around. So the Chattering Teeth can chase out the enemy members and zone them away, as it looks like Azmodan does not have a dunk, and the first objective will go over to the side of the Devil's Reject. Excuse me, over to Rise and Grind. Non-competitive, excuse me, Blackheart's Bay is Life. I mean, when I say non-competitive, I mean it's not in the Storm League rotation, it's not in Heroes Lounge, NGS, CCL. No tournaments are really played with Braxis Holdout in the map rotation, nor do we see Warhead Junction. So I would call those quote-unquote non-competitive maps in the sense of they're non-competitive in community, not community, but grassroots esports. There we go. We don't have community esports here. We have grassroots. Makes us sound more formal. Lunatic on this Lucio is actually going to be playing and just going to be fine. I was expecting Lucio to go down right there, but in the end, there was not enough damage out from Rise and Grind into said Lucio, and that will be still 1-0 in kills in favor of Rise and Grind. Chromie going to throw out some damage here, but In the end, all four sappers will be cleared out. Azura stepping very forward here as the concussion mine does throw Lucio out of position. We are going to be having the Adhoral anomaly, so no extra additional status effects from those time traps. As Satan saves, dives in, pops the Iron Skin, trying to back off. Symbiotic. Symbolic? I think I was actually saying that wrong earlier, but either way, Sim is going to be backing off as we do have Eris. Eris? I can't say half the names, chat. My brain's like, I'm looking at them now and I'm like, I don't know if I'm right on these things. Regardless, Hebrew Hammer's gonna get rooted. Emerald Dream's kind of taking its toll. God, Emerald Dream's at level 1. It's just such a ridiculous level 1 talent. And another seed will go over to the side of Rise and Grind. Lunatic is just trying to match the Sony in the top lane for now. Curious about Urel's level 1. After damaging enemy heroes with basic attacks, Urel's next basic ability heals her for 185. Self-sustain. I don't know, I rarely ever see this. I don't think it's really necessary. Dauntless, I feel like, would have been stronger. Auto attack damage reduction into anyone who's autoing you after you use an ability, and that's 30 physical armor. That's quite a bit. So either way, we'll see if it gets the value. Seems like it's fine for now on the side of the Devil's Rejects. The Urel really, she got picked off once, but even then she was standing still, so she couldn't even really use an ability to potentially get armor. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I would say it's probably the least picked talent that Urel has at level 1. There's, what is it? It's the, I can't remember the name of the other one, but we often see the Vindication talent at level 1 as well, but that has synergy with some other talents. Right now, I'm not seeing any sort of synergy with our level 1 outside of just getting self-healing for 200. So either way, Blessed Shield does come out from the Joanna. We are going to see the Asmodean dump out some demons with that invasion, as kill into Malfurion will be had. Giant Snowball will push a few members out. The leap comes in. The Concussion Mine actually throws the Lucio, I believe, over the wall, and the Nexus forces find that kill. Satan Saves trying to back off right now, will end up going down. This will be another channel onto a seed for the side of Rise and Grind, and this should be Garden Terror in their favors. To note, as always, the Garden Terror will always spawn up as far as your minion waves, so it's going to be crashing pretty far back in top. Mid's going to be just about mid, and the Mei is trying to push out bottom lane a little bit. The other thing to note, though, too, is going to be this objective phase also does not slowly lose health over time like Garden of Terror, like Tomb of Spider Queen. So these will need to be cleared out, or the waves will need to be managing them per se, I guess you could say. Towers are probably a better way to say that. Regardless, siege in through bottom lane, siege in through mid. Sonya are going to be going up into the top lane. We actually have the Siege Giants grabbed for bottom lane as well to amplify this push potential, and that should actually get quite a bit of value through this mid lane. Top lane, I want to just peek at the Sonya versus the Urel. Urel did use Ardent Defender in the last team fight, so Hebrew Hammer won't have that, but still managing to sustain themselves in this lane as the Punisher, oh my god, as the Garden Terror is going to be pushing up onto this front gate. I want to peek into some of the other lanes, see if we have any sort of fights or anything like that. No, not really. So top lane's probably the priority right now. I would expect maybe a hard shift in rotation from the side of Rise and Grind, but no, they want to focus on into this mid lane fort. Sound Barrier used by the Lucio. Less shield did go out from the Joanna, but unfortunately no one was able to step up. Soldier of God did get thrown back by the Concussion Mine. So Sonya found some siege in through top, does back off through mid, and the Asmodean pushed out bottom lane. So far, pretty good Garden Terror phase, and pretty good defense. No structures going down, but some decent siege in through mid lane. Could be an eventual fort with some extra camps or even waves pressed in through that lane. The Malf Sleep is so OP, is what I was referring to. Oh, got you. I've seen Monkey pick it on a bunch of Urel. Oh, that's about it. Okay. Generally default to the Q talent. Dauntless was pretty nice. Was really nice nerf. It still is into heavier AA. Yeah, that's true. I'm remembering when we had to back to court and drive the Garden Terror. Dear Lord, I remember those days. I remember I won my first and my few games of Chair League. I played Lost Vikings on the old Garden of Terror, and my team literally was like, my teammates were just like, I don't believe in you. And my one best friend I was actually playing with was like, do it, Bahamut. You got this. You got this. So I picked Vikings, and then we were losing the game, but I was like managing to pull an experience, and then I literally said, just fight the enemy team, I got this. And I just drove the Garden Terror to core and ended game. And we won that series. And I remember we ended that series, and they were like, good job, Bahamut. And I said, I never want to play competitively ever again. I literally could taste like stomach acid in the back of my throat. I was so nervous. So I don't play really competitively, because I get way too anxious about all of it. Even in my Storm League games, I'm just like, dear Lord. But another Garden Terror seed will be spawning here. It's going to be the reset, as we did have 3 already over to the side of Rise and Grind. And let's see what the members of the Devil's Rejects are able to do here. It's 14 up on both sides when it comes to our levels. Even Talontier, Soldier of God getting dove on by the Mei as the sound barrier comes out from the Lucio. Riptire out from Junkrat. Going to knock back Hebrew Hammer, who's trying to dive into the enemy team with that little leap. The Avenging Wrath not coming in just yet, but Hebrew Hammer looking to jump in once again. There's Chattering Teeth, there's a Time Trap. I don't think the flank is going to be available, and actually the members of Rise and Grind are pressing into the Devil's Rejects as Hebrew Hammer is going to back off. Does have the Ardent Defender up and available. Li Ming back from getting some health, as I think they just tapped well. You can slowly see that mana bar coming back for them. Abyss is diving in. Urel's not going to find the jump that they're looking for. Going to take a bit of a nap. Ardent Defender is going to be used. Cryo Freeze out from the Mei as well. Romy getting pushed around a little bit. I'm just kind of sitting and watching as the Devil's Rejects do find the channel on the objective phase, and that will be a seed over to themselves. Yeah, both sides could get terror at the same time. It was absolutely crazy. It was such a wild time for the game. Hey Eyelids, how you doing, friend? By the way, the news for anyone that doesn't know, I will be casting Season 2 of CCL. Woo! I'm back, baby! Li Ming trying to get some structural damage through mid with the Disintegrate. Lucio going to speed things up, and they'll all disengage through this mid lane. Garden Terror Seed will be spawning on the bottom left of our map. Asmodan grabbing some camp pressure for bottom lane. Just a lot of macro right now from both these sides. No team fighting, as 16 Talontiers on the horizon, so I think that's the high priority for both of these teams. Mei literally just rushing past as they want to maybe invade onto this camp, or no. Okay, so the pings that I was looking at the minimap, I think that was from the red side, so it was maybe signifying Hebrew Hammer was saying, all right, well, they're probably going to go into this camp, but in the end, it's going to be seed spawning, camp to be grabbed, so the positional advantage does go over to the side of Rise and Grind. They don't have 16s, but they'll find it through bottom lane with Sonya quickly. And when I say positional advantage, this is what I'm meaning. Look at the rotation still coming in from Hebrew Hammer, as the channel potentially could come out. Dunk out from Asmodan, kind of helping out a little bit right there. Chromie looking for the channel. Hebrew Hammer going to dive over the wall, has one interrupt right now. Last Dispatch, excuse me, gets in here with the spear. Ardent Defender's up in like 10 seconds, and I think Sonya was like, I think Ardent Defender's up, so I'm just not going to chase onto this Urel, because the leap was up and available. I think Sonya could have had that 1v1, especially since there's no Dauntless. Oh, Blessed Shield does not connect, as well as that is going to be an Arcane Orb out from the Li Ming. Malfurion getting delayed out, trying to go for another channel, needing to heal up the friendly members, actually. Leaping from the Sonya onto the Li Ming in this tight corridor as she walks away with a couple hundred health, but Sonya finds the last slam necessary, and that will be a kill. Riptire, as the Ardent Defender just now ends. Last Dispatch looking for the last auto into this Joanna, and there's so many low members on the enemy side. Sonya does have that no escape from level 13, so that does improve her movement speed by quite a bit here, 20% after using abilities, so you're able to then chase, but she doesn't go for the chase. The seed goes over to the side of Rise and Grind, and it's going to be 1-1, as our next seed will be up in a little bit. Should be camps once again for both of these teams. I have an easy solution for ranked anxiety. I just don't play ranked. There you go, GG's, easy. It also depends on who I'm playing with. Like the group that I have for Tuesdays, Warak, Iron Flare, Totski, and Memory, it's the group of people also make it really good too. Like the team I played with on Chair League was really, really toxic. Except for my best friend. He was actually perfect. He was very nice. And he literally said to me, he was just like, I'm only playing on this team because you're here. So when I left, he left, and they had their own time and everything. It was difficult. It was an interesting time, to say the least. I definitely learned a lot about team dynamics through that couple months, but either way. Another seed will be spawning here in 10 seconds through the center of the map. Can the members of... Ooh, wow, that's a nice blessed shield coming out from the Joanna. Jump in from Urel as well. Hebrew Hammer getting some decent damage, but there's that timeout from the Chromie to buy a little bit of time. Demonic Invasion out from the Asmodan as there's a lot of damage going in. Reset City for Soldier of God, who's looking to just crush this enemy team. Duncan from the Asmodan might be enough. Leap from Sonya, but oh my god, I was waiting for the Lucio damage to find that kill. Seed does go over to the side of our red team. The Devil's Rejects will be able to get themselves secondary seed, putting them near a potential, I was gonna say Web Weaver, a potential Garden Tear through the lanes for them. Just get good and only play ARAM. Yeah. I will say this. I think ARAM, much like AI, has its own... I mean, like any mode, it has its own playstyle. So I feel like ARAM actually... I feel like ARAM's a little bit of a hindrance per se. Like you're not learning camp rotations. Like the team fighting's a little awkward. It's just like I was thinking about it recently. I feel like ARAM, it's not detrimental to like playstyle and learning, but I feel like it actually can teach bad habits. But that's just me. That's just me. I don't know. That was just what I was thinking about it. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, don't play ARAM, but I don't know. I feel like ARAM, it's a different play style, so it's a different technique. And I feel like in comparison to like competitive, I feel like it can be a little bit of a hindrance, obviously depending. But we are nearing 20 talent tiers, so let's go ahead and cycle through those other numbers, get an idea of what those look like as we are going to get into our next seed. This could be Garden Terror for the side of the Devil's Rejects, looking to equalize on this map and find themselves some more push pressure, maybe even open up the map and look for a keep as well. Though I will say this, actually, no, the waves are actually really good for the Devil's Rejects if they can get this right now. Siege Giants through mid and bottom, and then a very far pushed up wave as well through top lane. Last Dispatch, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the content, my friend. Sonya spearing in, just a little bit of poke potential from both sides as the seed is still up and available for contest. The sappers have been cleared out, but a lot being thrown on the ground, a lot of poke coming out as well from either side. Gonna have that Malfurion root to zone back the enemy team. Does catch the Lucio, who's gonna take a bit of a nap. Is woken up. That's a Blessed Shield out from the Joanna. Sound Barrier used by the Lucio, and that's going to be a pick onto this Mei. A follow-up kill onto Malfurion. Riptire comes out from Brother Nature, but that's not gonna be enough. The Chattering Teeth are chasing onto Urel, who is just sitting on top of this Chromie. But the way... Oh, I was gonna say, these lanes are a little pushed out. Doesn't matter, actually. That's gonna be a triple kill for the side of the Devil's Rejects, and we can go ahead and look at those 20 talents that were achieved through all of this. Last Dispatch backing off, going to be able to grab the well as the mid lane gate is going to start falling here. Top lane, oh wow, Sonya going back in, real risky right there. Demonic Invasion is going to be 60 seconds off. I believe it was actually used in the last team fight, and that's the reason we're seeing it on cooldown. But Last Dispatch being chased by Hebrew Hammer, and Lunatic does go down. Staggered Death does mean there's a potential to end game through mid lane. Siege Giant plus this Garden Turret is looking fairly good for the members of the red team. Asmodan lasering onto this core. No Demonic Invasion, but it doesn't matter as this will be Brother Nature so very low. Does step out. Chattering Teeth chasing onto Urel. We do have Abyss coming back as well as Life. Core is falling a little too rapidly, and it's looking like game number one will go over to the side of the Devil's Rejects. GG, well played. Doesn't feel like they actually played for the fort with it. Yeah. You can learn how to team fight good. Oh, Killer Panda, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Mechanically, I think ARAM's good for that, but, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and get ready for this one. How do you spin the camera like that? I'm a god gamer. No, it's a little thing through Aliobs. It's a little script you can add into your I forget where, but it's like 2 lines of script you can add in, and it does it. ARAM is going to teach you how to team fight and macro. But here's the thing, because this is the awkward thing. We can talk about how ARAM teaches you to team fight, but in reality, you're never going to fight against 2 Zul'jins. You're never going to fight against 2 Deathwings or something like that. So that's the only outlier for me is like, yes, you can team fight, but some of these team fights are non-realistic. You'll never have these team fights in an actual game. You're never going to face 2 Zul'jins with 2 Lucios and a Garrosh. That's just not going to happen. So that's kind of the kind of the scale that kind of tips back and forth when I was kind of thinking about this. Because as I said, I'm not saying ARAMs are bad by any means. I'm just saying that I think they can kind of teach bad skills, much like AI. Like AI teaches really bad skills because you can actually leash and unleash the AI and you can play around that factor. I know because I go into AI a lot to test things for Heroes of Storm, and that is how I exploit things. So like if a questing talent build is super good in AI, it's probably awful in real games because you don't actually have people don't interact the same way as bots, obviously. But either way. God Gamer True, yeah, exactly. No, it's a little script thingy through Aliobs. Bahamut casting our Div D shenanigans. Hey, no, I'm here to cast NGS games. Doesn't matter what the division is. We're here to have fun and just have a good time. But speaking of, I need to actually run to the bathroom because I chugged too much tea and it's been 2 hours. So let me go ahead and update the team score. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and we will get into our next map in just a moment, everyone, okay? With that, I'm going to leave you with a 30-second ad. Why not? Why not push the ad button? Y'all like ads, right? Alrighty. Okay. Hey, Gary, what's up? Oh. I'd like to get an ad if it gave me a couple bits to donate to Bandit. You're too nice. You're too nice, KBB. So where's the ads? I don't know. I pushed the ad button on my stream deck. Did it not go? What's fun? Everything's fun. Everything's fun. Feel like ARAM's better for learning space to control a character's abilities. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Firefly. Zul'jin is insane in AI, but also insane in Stormleg. Yeah. Okay. All right. Nothing replicates competitive experience. Oh, absolutely. You got an ad? Hell yeah, Jimmy. How was your ad? Was it a fun ad? Just curious. I'm curious what people get. Or did you get like the same like stupid like ad that we're getting for everything? God, what's the ad that's constantly circulating right now? I'm trying to remember. There's actually been a decent amount of like change up in ads lately. So maybe it's not been that bad. They used to have like, you used to see the exact same ad all the time. Almond ad? Yeah, I see that one actually a ton. I didn't get an ad. You must be using ad blocker. Don't feel like supporting streamer. Unfortunate. get into the game, everybody. Welcome on in to Alterac Pass, our second map in our second best of 3 of the day. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Rise and Grind trying to take us to a game number 3 with their Tassadar, Sonia, Anduin, May, and Cassia. For the right-hand side, we have the members of the Devil's Rejects trying to close out the series in a 2-0 fashion with a Kael'thas, Joanna, Chen, Lucio, and a Raynor. We get into mid lane, and we'll see what our level 1s and first engagement will be looking like. You got the Almond, dear lord. As a tank, I hate when people pull ads. Smirk. All right, Porkchop, how you doing, bud? That was actually good. That was good. That was good. I like that. Alrighty, everybody. We are here on Alterac Pass, as I mentioned. Let's go ahead and see if the members of Rise and Grind can find a win on this map. Hebrew Hammer, though, on that Chen, just going to be drinking up a little bit and just kind of stepping into lane, saying hello to the enemy team. We are going to see Raynor going into Veteran Marksman at level 1, so going to be building out those stacks as quickly as possible. Same thing with the Tassadar, going to be going into the Shock Ray at level 1. That's not right. Static Charge, Shock Ray is the actual ability, and they'll need to hit 200 stacks on that one, so we'll keep an eye on that as the game does progress. Just checking into mid and top and everywhere else as Sonya actually gets maybe a free wave. And by free wave, I mean this entire wave not being picked up by the enemy side. So that's actually minion deficit. Minion experience deficit's always something that's very interesting to me, and I always like to try and mention it. So look at Sonya right now. I think actually, okay, no. I thought Sonya was actually trying to spear or slow down the rotation, so that way those little kind of blue globes, the experience globes, would expire, because they do actually slowly but surely expire if you don't pick them up. You can actually see in this bottom lane, Chen not able to kind of step in. Actually, no, manages to do so, but experience denial definitely is a big factor in the early game, because you can start to find a talent to your advantage through level 4, and then maybe during the objective phase you can play to set advantage. But we'll see. We'll see what happens right now. It's pretty neck and neck. We're talking, we're literally splitting hairs when it comes to the experience deficit. It was one minion wave, really not even that much. So you can see right now, camps to be grabbed by left and the right-hand side. We are going to still have that slight advantage for the members of Rise and Grind. And the reason I'm harping on this so much is just because I'm waiting for that first objective phase to see how that's played. And a lot of our upper tier playstyle, so like the Nexus division, the heroic, CCL, stuff like that, we often see a bit of a delay on the first objective phase, mostly because the real objective of this map is considered to be the null camp that was grabbed by both these sides. It's a 1 minute 30 cooldown on that camp, which is actually very low for Heroes of the Storm. And with that, you can actually constantly pressure through mid, and the objective phase is often staggered or stalled out till maybe around level 10. There is a benefit in that stagger and stall as well, because of the factor in it's a 30-second channel time, and death timers at that point in the game at 10 talent tiers are a lot longer, so it is going to be a little bit more difficult. As Kael'thas will go down first blood over to the side of Rise and Grind. Abyss just trying to back off right now, not lose their health. Oh, Life is trying to get onto Lunatic on that Lucio, but doesn't have enough damage. Going to be able to poke at the Raynor, that Soldier of God, to be able to dismount any sort of disengage. I'm just looking around the map right now. What is... Hello? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Chitome Premier, I'm sorry if I murdered your name. Thank you for gifting a sub to Kalis. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to my mod. Kalis, enjoy your sub. I don't know what we were seeing right there. No ad block, but I'm still not supporting the streamer. Just casual soaking. Sonya broke the mount party. I am sad. I am so sad. It's just an offlane thing? Exactly. The honorable soak. That was actually really good. That was really good. Let me see if I can actually hit that with the clip button. I wonder if it will actually catch it. That was actually kind of funny. I've never seen that in Heroes of the Storm. I've seen literally like solo laners just not hit each other and just like clear waves and avoid each other. But I've never seen them just mounted, just chilling in lane, just being like, "Sup, bud? How's it going? Your boss sending you up here too?" Yeah, it sucks. Alrighty, channel is in favor for the side of Rise and Grind. The Devil's Rejects trying to walk their way back onto this point. No actually 7 talent here just came through for the members of this red team. Satan saves. It will go down from the dive of Cassia. A second kill in this game number 2 in favor for the side of Rise and Grind. Little chastise on the Soldier of God, but in the end it is going to be the members of Rise and Grind able to grab themselves the first objective phase. They get that 30 seconds. Ooh, channel time. Kael'thas Gravity Lapse will not connect. Lunatic on this Lucio just trying to wall ride out of here. Chastise does connect onto them, but there's not enough follow-up damage to get the Lucio picked off, and Shock Ray out from Brother Nature, not able to build up any more of that static charge. Already at 70 stacks though, pretty good. We do have Behemoth Armor as well for the Rainer, so it's going to be at 6 stacks on that, and you have that Veteran Marksman at level 1, which is going to be at 13 stacks. We'll see how that does increase and how much the damage value comes in for the Rainer. Speaking of damage values, let's go ahead and cycle through those other numbers, get an idea of what those look like, as we have not had a chance to look at those just yet for this game number 2 on Alterac Pass. Last Dispatch going for the free push through top lane. We are going to see Chen get picked off in the bottom. Bit of a bully from this Cassia and Tassadar, and that's going to bolster the experience for the side of this blue team, as the fort in top lane will be pushed back by Soldier of God and Lunatic. Last Dispatch trying to get some slams in here and there with the amplified damage of the camp itself. And now mid lane, Kael'thas gets a nice Gravity Lapse backwards, and that'll be the disengage. And it looks like one fort does go down through bottom lane in favor for the side of Rise and Grind. Camp timers should be up and available on the left and the right-hand side just after this objective phase. Looking to see if there's a potential rotation to top, but this is just going to be Anduin dismounted, poked at by the Lucio. Sonya doesn't have leap, so wasn't able to jump onto Soldier of God, but honest to God, I feel like if we had that level 10, Sonya would have played that off that Chastise and would have got a massive leap into the enemy team. But 10 Talonteers right around the corner. It seems like the members of Rise and Grind want to make some sort of play as they continue to press into the enemy team, but also utilizing that 10 Talonteer advantage, as this will be a leap in onto the Kael'thas. Light Bomb comes out as well as the Mei uses the Cryo Freeze, and that's going to be a double kill definitely over the side of our blue team. Well played, as the Valkyrie is sidestepped by Lunatic. And do we have a boss call? Because it feels like the way that they're rotating into bottom, this is a quick boss call, and then the objective phase will be up in just a moment. I like the rotation, I like the macro. Good play so far from the side of Rise and Grind in game number 2, and our second best of 3 of the day. Premier, I hope I did not murder your name too hard. My apologies. Do that all the time in my games. We spin around to see who spins faster and then see who's the biggest. Kael'thas didn't go Mana Addict? Yeah, they went into Fel Infusion at level 1. Is this the one-shot build? No. I think there's like another Fel talent that you can take at this, or not talent, Fel talent, but the Verdant Spheres. I feel like there's another talent here that you can like, it's like an auto attack talent or something like that. I can't remember. I think there's another like Verdant Spear talent that you can actually like literally like one-shot people with the Pyroblast. Like it's like auto, it's like Gravity Lapse auto, apply Living Bomb auto, Flame Strike auto, Pyroblast, and the person dies like immediately. It's insane. Or like you activate your Verdant Spears just as you Pyroblast. I can't remember exactly how it works, but regardless, this is going to be a double boss for the side of Rise and Grind, as Rise and Grind can see that the enemy team was clearing out this bottom lane. They can see that Rainer's in mid, so this is no real worry for the side of our blue team to grab the secondary boss to push through top lane, as the objective phase is up. Last Dispatch coming in with the spear to try and clear things out. Does have well potentially, at least the way that they're kind of floating looks like they do. Gonna run past the fort itself. Lucio getting some decent damage out. Boss through top lane is gonna be grabbed. Mid lane fort is gonna be rushed by the side of the Devil's Rejects, and they will find it. Really good call coming out, but that's a big-ass leap from Last Despair. The Pyroblast comes out onto said Last Despair. Sound Barrier used by the Lucio. This fight is just all over the place. Satan Saves will go down. The Johanna picked off. There's going to be an avalanche out from the Mei to split the enemy team. Kael'thas and Rainer mounting up to disengage, as this Lucio is so very low, trying just to wall ride right out of here, as the Mei goes in with the icing, trying to get that last little bit of damage, as the boss through top lane does confirm the fort, dropping down to about half health, and this will be the camp for the right-hand side, grabbed by the members of Rise and Grind. The Devil's Rejects doing their best to clear things out through this top lane. Kael'thas all about that trait, level 1 life. No, he went Fel Infusion. The other talent nobody ever takes. Yeah, no one ever takes Fel Infusion at level 1. I've seen it maybe in the last 2 months. This is probably like the second time, third time I've maybe seen it. That's not me exaggerating or trying to meme. Like that's I've legit only seen it a few times in the last couple months. So it's just not a priority talent. Convection gives you more damage. Not Arcane Orb. Mana Addict at level 1 is just, it's so nice for late game Kael'thas. You have a big barrier to protect yourself from burst, or at least mitigate some burst. You then are also building your mana pool, so you're not starved. You can really just spam abilities in the late game. I just think it's really hard to argue against Mana Addict. Spearing from the Sonya, but a wonderful sound barrier from Lucio keeps the Rainer from going down from that slam damage. Speaking of slam damage, Satan Save's going to get speared in by the Sonya. 13 talent tier advantage for our blue team, and this will be the disengage from the Devil's Rejects, looking to defend, but these waves are really pushed in. I'd say they're more pushed in through bottom. Really, that's the big thing to note, is just the bottom lane is very much pushed in. 13 talent tier, still a level away for our red team. No worries, thank you. Who takes trait at level 1 on Kael'thas? Seriously. In my brain, I read that like it was Austin Powers. I don't know what it's. I don't know how to talk today. Apparently, I was losing it yesterday at the end of stream. I was calling Warak Workhorse. I didn't call Totsky, so that's always good. Yesterday was a blast, though. I actually had really fun with I had a lot of fun with our games yesterday. We went like positive 60 points. Wow, Valkyrie leap everything onto this Rainer. Pyroblast onto the Tassadar. He's just gonna go ahead and just tank that damage. Also utilizing the Shadow Walk right there. I don't believe it actually gave any armor or anything like that, but hey, and you know what? It's just gonna eat that damage. Archon form used by the Tassadar. Looking to maybe step in further, find this keep through the top lane. There is going to be still the objective phase through bottom lane, and that is a fend in onto Joanna. She goes down. Sound barrier going to be a little bit too late. Just want to check on that bottom lane keep and see how the minion wave was pushing into all of that. Actually, is there? Yeah, this is actually really good for the side of Rise and Grind. They're going to find a double keep through this, which means the game's actually endable. If you're able to get 2 keeps, that's only going to be the 20 spell and physical armor for the core itself. You can actually see right here. I always forget his name. Let's remember his name. Drekthar is going to have the 20 physical and spell armor per keep up and available, so there's only 1 up and available, so ending the game is more feasible for our blue team, but they're not going to go for it just yet. Going to back off, get themselves some camps, and look for that 16 talent tier advantage. Actually, boss is up and available. Is this... Yeah, this is going to be the play from them. Absolutely. I lost both my games, and I went minus 1,000 points last night. You're losing 500 points per game? That sounds really good, Blizzard. Good job. That really makes people want to play your competitive mode. I want to play TLV in a Div D game just to see how well it would work out. Yeah. Can it be that Valkyrie is the worst ultimate in the game? It never hits anything? I would heavily disagree with you, sir. I would not say that Valkyrie is the worst heroic in the game by any means. Valkyrie actually was pretty popular throughout Hero CCL because of the pull value. I mean, it is what, a 60-second cooldown? I understand that, yeah, the Valkyrie can catch the edges of walls, but quote-unquote get good, as the players would say. No, realistically, like, I don't think Valkyrie's the worst heroic in the game by any means. God, worst heroic in the game, I'd actually be leaning more towards Phoenix. Like Planet Cracker is pretty bad in my opinion. Purification Salvo's pretty bad. I made my whole case to Goon on Saturday about it. I'm not a fan of Salvo. I don't think Phoenix ults are very good, period. I think they're super lackluster. And I don't think his kit makes up for it per se. Like, I don't think like his kit is so strong that his ults need to be tuned down. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think Phoenix is probably more lackluster when it comes to heroics. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like, what's a hero heroic we, like, never see? Like, I would even say, like, Wrath of Angiris is still better than the Phoenix ultimates. This is looking like it's a core push for the side of Rise and Grind, obviously, as they're kind of stepping towards core right now. They've got themselves a Reaver minion, which is basically the tanks on this map. They don't actually deal any increased damage to structures or anything. They just tank a shitload of damage when it comes to structures. Valkyrie is going to be trying to get the pull into Soldier of God. See, it's just that boils down to angling. That literally boils down to angering in the player experience. That's going to be a Pyroblast onto... Oh, no, there is actually going to be physical... There's going to be spell armor, apparently, from that Oracle that does come out. Light Bomb out from the Anduin as well. This is a step to core that might not be working out for the side of Rise and Grind. Actually, no, it is right now, and that's going to be a kill onto this Lucio. I swore that there was someone else that died. Maybe it was a... No, okay, it was the Storm, Earth, and Fire Pandas. That's what we saw go down. I swear. Anyways, Drakthar is going to be falling rapidly here, and this is going to be game number 2 over to the side of Rise and Grind. GG, well played. They take us to a game number 3. Reign of Vengeance? I don't think Reign of Vengeance is bad. I'm assuming he's trying to bounce you up and down in ranks to see where you are to fall in activity. Ah. I'm very disappointed whenever I see Reign of Destruction show up on a Gul'dan. I mean, I will say this. Reign of Destruction does have its siege values. I actually have seen compositions where Reign of Destruction gets a lot of siege value. Tomb of Spider Queen is actually one of those few maps that we actually see it on from some competitive teams. That's what I'm saying, like, I don't think Valkyrie's bad by any means. I don't think Reign of Destruction's bad. When we compare them, though, to Phoenix, Reign of Destruction's not the best talent. Like, Horrify, so much better. But if we're literally comparing, like, bad talents across Heroes of the Storm, Reign of Destruction still better than Phoenix Ults, in my opinion. Rocket Ride's pretty bad. I could say Rocket Ride's pretty bad. There is value in it though. Like, let's say you go Entomb Leoric. Like, which would you have? Big beam that goes burr, or a giant target that can go inside of a Entomb, and then you get a respawn and you can move back to the team pretty fast. Like, that's pretty arguable. Like, Phoenix ults versus a Rocket Ride, yeah, that's up there. That's up there with bad talents. If you had an Entomb Leoric, you'd prefer Planet Cracker. All right, but here's the thing, Asmachad. Here's the thing. Now, yes, you've got Planet Cracker, far better up follow range and everything. Yes, I agree with you, absolutely. Now let's compare the kits of Phoenix and Junkrat to each other. Junkrat overall better than Phoenix. So there's that. I would rather have a Rocket Ride Junkrat than a Planet Cracker Phoenix, because I still have to play with a Phoenix. Sorry, just I honestly feel like Phoenix is one of those underdeveloped heroes. That's just me. That's just me. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's the truth. I'm not saying that you all have to believe it, but that's just my humble opinion about it. Reign of RNG, yeah, exactly. Do you have a channel to join? What is it? It's just Baja, yeah. Thank you, Stark. Strafe is pretty meh. Yeah, I could agree with that, Ektar. I've seen Strafe get some decent value, but yeah, I'd still rather have a Strafe Vala over a Planet Cracker or Salvo Phoenix. Like, that's what like, at the end of the day, it boils down to just, like, if we're looking beyond just heroics, I'd still rather have many other heroes than a Phoenix, period. Phoenix can surprise a solo laner during draft, which can be crap on certain bruisers. I agree. Range into melee can be really difficult. Phoenix may have an early game advantage, but I feel like as the game progresses, that Phoenix is going to lose that advantage. Like, let's say Phoenix against Sonya. Sonya might get whittled down and pushed back, but once Sonya gets into 10 and she can just leap in, that Phoenix is going to be in a really awkward spot consistently. Like, here's the thing. So here's the thing, though. Like, Ektar, like, let's continue the conversation of range versus melee in the solo lane. Wouldn't you rather just have a Falstad instead? I feel like a Falstad would be better than a Phoenix, because the Falstad scales harder throughout the game in the solo lane and can have more mobility, has a better disengage at 10, a better heroic at 10, has global mobility. Yeah. Feel like Phoenix is niche. I've never been like, when Phoenix came out, really not the biggest fan of him. It's the argument that you can make with a lot of heroes in Heroes of Storm. I love Azmodan. I love him to death. But when you sit there and you say, all right, we're going to Infernal Shrines, we need Shrine clear and rotation clear. There's a lot of heroes that just do it better. Gul'dan. You have Zool. I mean, those are just two heroes that are already better at doing wave clear and team fighting and scaling. Niche, definitely niche. Strafe has different, decent self-utility, keeps vengeance stacks up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. No love for Phoenix. I just started to cry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of him. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, I don't play a lot of healers. There's some healers out there that I like. White main, I honest to God, do not get the priority over like a Lucio, over a Decker Kane, over an Ana. But some people, they can play an insane white main, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, I'd rather see something more strong, in my opinion. But that's me. That's love. Love. I read chat. Hey Meebus, what's up? Just never been a super big fan of like white main. That's my own opinion though. I'm not saying white main's trash. I am saying that I'm not a fan of Phoenix, but I'm not saying he's trash. I'm just not a fan of him. Orpheus Eternal Feast is pretty meh. Here's the thing though, like Orpheus Eternal Feast has more zone value than a Planet Cracker in my opinion. Because Eternal Feast forces you to either be there or be somewhere else. Planet Cracker, you can eat a lot of that damage and it will go away. Eternal Feast, you gotta move. You gotta go somewhere else. And that's what I actually really like about that, is because on a point control based map, Eternal Feast can have so much value. Like, look at Infernal Shrines with Eternal Feast. Like, Eternal Feast takes up the vast majority of the shrine, so you can zone out the enemy team. Yes, your ultimate can end very quickly, but it's not the longest cooldown. Whereas Planet Cracker is gonna get you, what, some of the area. I'm requesting Phoenix games instead of Guan Yu. All right, well, good luck getting those Phoenix games. I love white main, but she could use a buff in my opinion. Same goes for Ariel. What would you buff? I'm just curious. Like, no, like I'm just like healing output or what? White main has no huge throughput, unlike Decker Kane, yeah. White main, if played right, can be amazing, but you can't play her well. She struggles. I agree. I absolutely agree. All right, let's get some bandit pets in, and then we will get into our next game in just a second, okay? Oh, who's a good boy? You are a good boy. Yes. Bandit. Going, huh? Okay. Okay. Planet Cracker can be used as a global on certain maps to interrupt. I think Salvo is better though. Here's the thing though, Jimmy. If you're burning Planet Cracker for a global interrupt, like let's say Towers of Doom, I feel like you're wasting your heroic then. If you're burning what is Planet Cracker? 80 seconds? I can't get it. I currently Phoenix, HOTS, HHE. That should get me to the right website. Talents. Planet Cracker is a 100-second cooldown. If you're wasting Planet Cracker, Planet Cracker, at least according to the wiki, I might be wrong on this, but the wiki says 100 seconds for Planet Cracker. If you're using Planet Cracker to interrupt something on a global map, you're wasting your heroic. Octograb plus Planet Cracker's awesome combo. I mean, I see you absolutely on that. But why not just take Hinterland's Falstead then? But my point is like here's the thing. You have to do so much niche stuff to make him work. What about Big Laser at 20? I mean, are you getting to 20 playing Phoenix? Frigga League, how you doing here? Is this what you want? Is air horns? Is that what we wanted? Is that why there are air horns in chat? Salvo's 90 seconds? Yep. But Armageddon meme sets it down to 60 seconds. Oh, okay, cool. So you still have a 60-second... I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. It's going to be hard to win me over with Phoenix. You know what? Here's what I will say. Here's what I'll say to the players of Season 2 of CCL. Impress me. Make me believe that Phoenix is good, because I would press X to doubt. Okay, that's my opinion on it. Let's get into another game, everybody. I have been farming so much uptime in between games. My apologies. All right, let's get into this. Let's find out who is going to win in game number 3 in our best of 3 series. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Rise and Grind on this left-hand side, and it is going to be Abyss, on the Joanna. Life going to be on that Brightwing. Eris, I think is actually how you say that. I think that's how you say the Vala's name. Last Dispatch will be on the Zagara, and we have got Brother Nature on the Rexar and Misha playing Misha. For the right-hand side, we have the members of the Devil's Rejects. Soldier of God going to be on the Tychus, Lunatic on the Anduin. Symbolic, I actually did have it right the first time, is going to be on the Asmodan. Satan Saves on that Diablo, and Hebrew Hammer on the Kira. Okay, let's go ahead and see how this all works out in our first engagement through mid lane. Bit of a just scuffle over all of this. Great healing out from Anduin actually right now, and same thing with Brightwing. Caltrops at level 1 for the Vala right there. Spend 160 seconds at 10 stacks of Hatred. Vault cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds, and its mana's cost is reduced from 50 to 25. What is Vault? I don't know off the top of my head what Vault is. Let me look at this really quickly. Let's learn together, chat. Vault is a 10... Oh, so you have a 5-second cooldown on Vault. Not bad whatsoever from that. A lot more mobility. Want to buy one Ryokai in chat? No, please, Stark. Not sure what I buff on Whitemane. I feel like she's a bit underpowered in general, so healing output could work, some survivability, anything really maybe make it easier to keep her zeal up on other people long duration. All these are actually really, really good things. And they don't like, because that's the one thing. When I ask Twitch chat, I'm like, what would you buff with a hero? They come out with the most ridiculous stuff. Like, they come out with like just broken abilities, and I'm just like, that's not balanced. They're like, well, but it would be good for my favorite hero. Just... You know, I would love for Asmodan just to deal 1,000 damage off of dunks if he hits 2 or more heroes. Like, what? It's just like, well, no, you can't. No, that breaks the game. Just because you love a hero doesn't mean they need to be overpowered. Like, as I said, I love Asmodan. I think he's in an okay spot for what he does. Could he be more impactful? Absolutely. Would that probably break him? Probably. Anyways, let's continue into the game. It's just interesting. Whitemane has 50% win rate, though. She doesn't need any buffs. Okay. I'm not a big fan of basing everything off of website stats, because here's the thing. Website stats they don't take into consideration a lot of things. Or if you look at just NGS stats, those don't consider other things, too. So like, stats are so hard because we don't have official stuff from Blizzard, because Blizzard refuses to actually work with their community on this game. Satan Slaves is going to be trying to dive onto this Vala, who gets saved by Abyss on the Joanna. Really well played, as the Brightwing actually didn't have any heals for this Vala. Looking up into the top lane, just want to see how Hebrew Hammer and Brother Nature are kind of faring in this 1v1. Kira has been considered a strong counter into Rexar, who is going to have to tap well. She's able to really just sit there and just, well, get stacks off of the Misha and the Rexar and just continue to just heal off of all of that with her Blood Rage. Just peeking around the minimap right now as well, just see what the rotations are going to be looking like and how the lanes are being pushed up. So far, the members of the Devil's Rejects are a little bit behind in experience. It's 1-to-1 in kills, but at the same time, Asmodan's slowly scaling. Diablo's building out those souls, and we'll see what value does come out from the Devil's Rejects. This Asmodan, by the way, is just eating through their mana bar. Gonna need to be able to play that a little bit slower with some of their abilities, or hearth out fairly soon, as the Dragonite's up and available. Vala was considering joining into the team fight in bottom lane. Does Asmodan have a dunk? Not in time. This will be Dragonite over to the side of the blue team. Members of Rise and Grind are going to be able to grab that. Tychus actually was dumping in damage to Abyss, but might have actually been Shield Glare, because I was not seeing that health bar drop really, if at all. Don't you think Cho'Gall should be OP? No. I think Cho'Gall's in an okay spot, honestly. I think a lot of heroes are in okay spots. But people want them buffed up because they're their favorite heroes. And yeah. Like, Zagara could probably use a little bit of love. God, who else could use a little bit of love in this game? Falstad could get fixed. Samuro, I mean, I'm probably going to get a little bit of hate in chat, but Samuro could probably use a little bit of adjusting. Some features he's got that are a little interesting. Nerf Samuro. Medivh could probably use some adjustments, albeit I have no idea what they would be, but I'd like to see him out of the first pick, first ban kind of range for our for a lot of our top tier play. I don't think Abathur needs any like massive buffs, but like it'd be just cool to see if they made a couple changes on him with just symbiosis, like maybe. Or even like maybe even like buffs into mines. You know, that'd be cool. It'd be cool if you actually saw some buffs into the mines from the for the Abathur to maybe push into mine builds more often, because hat builds pretty standardized these days. Or at least the hat build most people go. Or like Monstrosity got a little bit of a buff, and we have been seeing a little more Monstrosity split potential pressure. So there's like a lot of little things I'd like to see from Heroes of the Storm. Remove him from the game. Boom, fixed. I mean, there you go. Easy enough. They'd have to murder Medivh to change his pick rate. Yeah, Samuro could use a rework, make his Q and his D don't break CC and dots buff W. Oh. Stark, thoughts? Where's my Samuro player in chat that I go to for all my Samuro information? It's just like there's a lot of little things. I don't think there's any heroes that need like massive reworks right now, right?
Another chance to prove yourself.
Maybe some buffs to Genji, maybe some buffs to Arthas, so we can see a little bit more of him. ETC is kind of in an okay spot. He's fallen off in the meta, but I feel like it's just like the cycle of the meta. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of him start to pop back up in like CCL, because he plays around a lot of team coordination super well. We're not super focused on this game. We're talking about random stuff, which we can do after the game. So let's focus in on this game right now. Let's go ahead and cycle through some of the other abilities. Also, Stormy, good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming by. Mag Legend, thank you for the follow during this game as well. Much appreciated for the support, my friends, and I hope you're all doing well. And if I've missed you in chat, my apologies. Probius? Probius could probably use some love. I actually saw Grubby playing a bunch of them today. But he's like, I mean, but that's also in the hands of Grubby, so it's one of those things, like, it's hard to compare in some of those situations, like, the skill level of one person with a hero versus the, like, you put McIntyre on most heroes, and he'll go the most ridiculous build and still win out the game, but there's also a lot of mechanical prowess, there's a lot of just knowledge in the game and being able to read into the enemy team and punish little mistakes that he can do that we typically don't. Big fight breaking out, though, right now. Light Bomb did come out from Diablo, setting up the kill into Zagara, as the souls will be picked up by said Diablo, able to get themselves that revive if they die. Commandeer Odin did come down from the Tychus as well. Vala did go into that Rain of Vengeance, if I'm not mistaken, and the Asmodan still soaking out. Actually, up in the top lane, we do have Kira going down to the Rexar. This is potential Dragonite. It was potential Dragonite for a hot second until the the Rexar was able to regain the top lane. I want Probius to be able to make a gateway. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Honestly, think if Medivh had to channel time to go through portal into oh, that'd be kind of cool, Meebus. Yeah. My Prio rework. Yeah, Nova could probably use a buff, but like, what would you do? You don't want to buff her so she's like the absolute terror she used to be, where like at high tier, like people with just high skill levels can just absolutely destroy. I mean that's very true for like Li Mings and Zeratul these days, but like, I don't know. Nova's one of those heroes that's just, it just feels super awkward. Nice blink heals from Life, as that actually will be a kill onto the Tychus, who's trying to get that the entire time. Zagara coming down here to help out the friendly team as well. Abyss zoning back the enemy side, with Vala just kind of stepping up for a little extra damage as well. Just skimming through talents to see if I missed anything of importance. Devouring Maw for the Zagara, so that's something to note. Not going to be going into Nidus Network. And the Asmodan is going to be into the Demonic Invasion for some extra siege value. Top lane, Hebrew Hammer trying to make this 1v3-ish work out for them, and so far it actually kind of is. The healing's been good enough, but it won't be good enough, and that will be the kill onto the Kira through top lane. 13 talents here achieved by the side of Rise and Grind, as the Asmodan will be kicked away, and the Dragonite works its way through this mid lane. We do have Brightwing and Rexar through the top, and Zagara, Joanna in the bottom lane. Good split pressure coming out from the side of Rise and Grind, as they have have the 13 talent tier advantage. Gonna leave the Brightwing up here as she does have phase shift to make sure Rexxar still soaks in through mid and denies the Azmodan from getting the split push value. But look at this Azmodan, no mana, stepping too far forward. The chase is out from Brother, who doesn't make the connection with the stun charge. Here's the thing, though, keep in mind, level 13. If you're wondering why Rexxar is attacking so ridiculously fast, it's from the aspect of Hawk. This aspect of Hawk, it chunks into enemy heroes, and that's the reason we were seeing that value. Final Strike comes out from the Kira, but it's not going to be enough to land a kill. We do have the Diablo Apocalypse out. Dragonite does kick Lunatic into the wall. Auto attacks are pretty good. Nice Condemn. There's a Devouring Maw, not catching on to this Anduin, who's able to get away with some 80 health. Tyke is dashing away, pulled in by the Condemn, and Satan Save's going to just get kicked away towards the core. Some heroes are just in awkward positions where their base kits are either super powerful or they're super awful. It's very difficult to go in between. Oh, absolutely. Balancing in a MOBA is very difficult because you're balancing not only the character, but you're balancing around different levels of play as well. So that's like you don't want to make a hero so difficult to play that like people in plat below just can't do it, whereas it's just an easy walk for, you know, mid plat up, and they just the mechanical prowess is not an issue. Greymane kind of felt like that way at the beginning, but realistically it's intimidation of two kits. Realistically, Greymane's extremely easy to play. It's just learning that mechanical playstyle. I'm not really sure how you balance Nova without removing her stealth. I have no idea either. You probably play into the sniping scaling value. I feel like, you know, it'd be really fun if you actually had like a baseline quest like Zul Jinns with Nova, but for like snipes into heroes or something like that. And then maybe like you can get like, you can earn your stealth or something like that by getting a snipes, and so her late game scaling's a little bit stronger. Maybe that's the way you go into it. Not 100% sure, but like, I feel like you don't want to remove that because being stealth is such a big thing about the ghosts from StarCraft. Anyways, big fight through top lane. We are going to see a huge Apocalypse out from the Diablo. Hebrew Hammer looking to enter into this fight. Azmodan able to burn down the Misha. Last Dispatch coming in with the Devouring Maw onto the Tychus and Anduin, so they're out for a few seconds here as the Diablo does go down. Souls to be reset. Abyss trying to back off right now. I don't think they have an Iron Skin up and available. I think they actually used that. That was the reason you're seeing him move so quickly. The fanaticism still taking place as Soldier of God tries to back off, does go down. Light Bomb onto Lunatic, buys a second or two. It isn't enough. Diablo's back, and the Siege Giants through bottom lane are arriving to the keep front gate, which will get a lot of value. But right now, Vala going to be able to find a triple kill for the friendly team. Dragonite faces up and available. I would expect this to be a Dragonite if the members of Rise and Grind can move quickly enough through the lanes. Stealth could work on energy like it's in StarCraft. That'd actually be really interesting. I'd love to see something like that. Nova has to like Nova has to be around some of her structures to maybe like regain the energy. That'd be kind of cool. Forces you to kind of it forces you to have to move around the map. But not so much move around the map around the enemies consistently. Yeah, that'd be something like that. Something like energy would be cool. Or you build up your energy by dealing damage, like Valera kind of. Or even Sonya, who builds up her fury. Like, I feel like that'd be cool. That'd be a cool direction to go into with it. 17 talent tier advantage, or I guess 16 talent tier advantage, with the enemy team still kind of working their way up into that 16 range. Not even 15 just yet, actually. They're just hitting it now. Dragonite pushing in through the bottom lane. I want to quickly look and see, what's the Dragonite hitting for? 621 into structures currently, and this will be the bottom lane keep going down. Consistent catapult pressure out and in favor of Rise and Grind. Just what? The Commandeer Odin like lost its fist apparently, and it was just floating around the map, but Dragonite will go down in 20 seconds. They could just cancel this, realistically. I've actually been seeing a couple teams cancel the Dragonite at this point because the siege value is just awkward. And the enemy team can see where the Dragonite is because it has global vision. There you go, that's the vision of the red team. There's the Dragonite just kind of meandering around the map right now. Remove standing still gives full invisibility from all heroes in the game, thank you. I think that's actually a cool mechanic, personally. I love that mechanic. I think that really, like, I think that makes the stealth so... It makes it so interesting because it's a playstyle factor. Like, you have to consider when you're playing against those heroes, like, all right, there could be a Zeratul just kind of sitting right here. Thanks for the cast. My pleasure, Satan Saves. Thanks for coming by. Hope you've been enjoying the game. I'm not really sure how you'd balance Nova that. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat here and there as we do have the game progressing. Looking at some questing talents, Vala did finish out the level 1. She does have her Creed of the Hunter at level 4. Get the extra additional 2% basic attack damage per stack once they finish out those 100 stacks. Just skimming at talents right now. No Subdue done by the Joanna. 5 stacks on the Zagara's level 7. The Infinite Dings for the Tychus is at 78. Let's actually look and see how much additional time that is. 2.3 seconds, so that's going to be 5.34 seconds of minigun time for the Tychus. Right wing going to be back into top lane to split push and also find 20s for the friendly team. Apocalypse used by the Diablo is going to catch the foot of Misha, but it's not that big of a deal. We do also have the Hunter-Gatherer for the Rexar at level 4. That was finished out, so Misha does have the baseline armor as well. And Asmodean did finish out their level 1 portion of the quest. They do have still their baseline annihilation to work through. But now, after 200 annihilation stacks are achieved, increase the range of all shall burn by 25%. Demon warriors gain 20% attack speed and a movement speed. Shrine's activating in 10 seconds. Let's see what happens here. We're 15 minutes in with 20 talent tier advantage on the side of Rise and Grind. The Devil's Rejects looking to make something happen here, or at least get top lane. They're all 5 stacked up. This is going to be the Polymorph, the dive, and that will be Kira going down. Commandeer Odin comes out from Tychus, Laser out from Asmodean, as the Joanna is just stepping into the enemy team. The Demonic Invasion used. I think there was a Blessed Shield from Joanna just now. Maybe it was actually a few seconds ago, but either way, there was lockdown onto the Diablo. He goes down, no souls, Anduin getting picked off as well. This is, I would expect, a quick rush through bottom lane to end, but maybe not. Vala's already backing off to go through top lane. Looks like there's going to be a play for Dragonite right now. Okay. I mean, I would say this is maybe just safer, but ooh, wait, hold on, sorry, I was itching my arm as I saw Soldier of God get dove on through the minimap, and right now Vala is working their way to bottom lane. Zagara, Joanna looking to actually end the game, but Rexar and friends have a different idea. This is split decision-making coming out from the side of Rise and Grind, and this might actually be a little too slow of rotation. The Dragonite is grabbed, the core is starting to lose its health, the Vala does get picked off by the Asmodean. Kira doesn't find the grapple they're looking for. Dragonite could look to rush through bottom, but Dragonite's not going to be able to just take down the core itself. It does have 20,000 HP. Yeah, a little bit less than that, but actually no, it still is above 20,000 regardless. Core is going to gain some of its shielding back. Kick goes out onto the Tychus, who will be near that top lane camp. Fight still breaking out on the bottom left of our screen as the Dragonite steps to core, but look at this. The chunking into the Dragonite. The Dragonite itself is hitting for 800 and something, 810. And right there, they got, what, a few percent off the core, maybe 4% from just this Dragonite. Satan saves, dives in. Demonic Invasion used. Kira going to be able to find a massive revolving sweep. A lot of big CC out as the Light Bomb just connects onto Misha Bear. Going to have a pull from Abyss, and the Misha does go down. That can respawn right in the battle, but it looks like it's a disengage from the side of Rise and Grind. Still have their 20 talent tier advantage over the members of the Devil's Rejects. Trade offer. You receive removal of stealth. I receive old stealth visibility. Yeah, old stealth visibility was rough. I'm saying that I've seen more skilled Novas who still can make the game's nightmare. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Rough Kira matchup. They have all the CC to blow you up once you engage. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of CC from the side of Rise and Grind. The Devil's Rejects slowly but surely will be able to get their level 20s. Tychus is going to try and work their way out of this top lane. Nice leap of faith from the Anduin just to deny that. 80-second cooldown on that ability. We might see Glyph of Faith, but that's still a half a level to go for the side of the Devil's Rejects, who are pretty turtled up right now. Diablo just trying to step out into top lane, but you can actually... I was watching the minimap and I was just like, you could even see the call from the team, just like, no, group up, stay together, wait for 20s, just let it trickle in. We'll eat the camps and such as they come to us. But the objective phase is up and available. I believe this is the 3rd one of the game. No, actually, this is the 4th one of the game, if I'm not mistaken. 20 talent tier will be equalized, and Asmodean not too far off on their level, their baseline quest. Only another 56 stacks on that if I'm caster mathing that. No, I'm not even caster mathing that correctly. It's gonna be, it's more like 66 stacks. There we go. No, it's not. It's 76 stacks. Dear Lord, do I not know how to math today. Really bad. I don't even know why I attempted. At some point, though, I will be correct, I would hope. Anyways, final strike comes out from the Kira. Diablo can actually Hellgate into the enemy team, finds that single target root, or not root, the stun. Misha going to be able to stun out themselves with the charge into Diablo. Symbolic is getting a little low here on this Azmodan, trying to dunk out and just push back these waves as the Dragon Knight's up and available once again for these teams, and we'll see if, oh wow, Diablo, Leap of Faith, and then the Shadow Charge back in, but this is what I'm talking about. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing another Dragon Knight in favor for the side of Rise and Grind, and can they actually end the game with it? We'll have to see. It's equal talent here, so the members of our red team are not too afraid of stepping out this time. Kira should have gone for Unrelenting Strikes. Final Strike won't get much value with a Spell Armor, Bright Wing, and Wing Condition. Yeah, I mean, I think that is, yeah, you make a good point with that. Unrelenting Strikes do go burr. I personally love that talent. I love dear Lord. Unrelenting Strikes. I just don't, I don't think it gets enough, like, value, or not enough value. I don't think it gets enough, play. Because people go for Final Strike because I believe it has a reset on it, does it not? No, it has increased damage. That's the big thing on it. I mean, right now we're at 20 talents here. We're doing 866, and the damage is increased by 25%. Excuse me, for heroes that are under 50% of their health. So, pretty good right there. 25% on that's basically going to buff it to 1,000 damage. Diablo does go down, losing souls. Rain of Vengeance does come out from the Vala, setting up the kill into this Azmodan, as we do have a. I can't think right now, chat. I don't know what's happening. Devouring Maw from the Zagara, who's able to grab themselves another Dragon Knight. Catapults have arrived through bottom lane. What are they hitting for? They're late game catapults. They hit hard. 800 damage into structures right now as the Dragon Knight's going to be walked in through bottom lane. This is looking like the members of Rise and Grind are going to be able to take this game with the Dragon Knight, but there still is the defense between the Tychus Tychus. I was going to say Diablo, as he has to Hellgate away. Unfortunately, not able to get the Light Bomb value. Dragon Knight has arrived to core. The core is falling rapidly, and this will be game number 3 over to the side of Rise and Grind. They take the series in a 2-1 fashion. GG. Well played. Mosh is interruptible, but you don't see people calling Mosh bad? Mosh is terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Whew. All right, I am going to show you all stats. I'm going to run and boil some water because we're going to get another cup of tea going.